Hello and welcome back to BS Rugby, and England host Tonga at Twickenham Stadium on Saturday. It is, of course, England's first game of the Autumn Nations series. Here is my preview of the game and my predictions. As always, if you're new here, hit the like button down below, subscribe as well. We've got so much going on right now on the channel with the Autumn Nations series. There will already be an Ireland against Japan preview. There'll be a link in the description down below, so do go and check it out. Let's get going then with this game. It's an interesting fixture for sure. They do have some history though. They've faced each other 3 times. The most recent of them coming in the 2019 Rugby World Cup, where England won this one by 35 points to 3 in the pool stages. Then in 2007, they faced each other in the autumns with a win for England, but only by 36 points to 20. So a pretty close game in that one. The complete opposite has to be said about this game. Back in 1999, England 101, Tonga 10. So you can see England have won all games, no wins yet for Tonga. And if we're being realistic, I'm not sure how many people are expecting Tonga to get a win over England. Let's talk about recent form. In the summer, England played against the USA. That was their most recent fixtures. They won that one by 43 points to 29. While this Tonga team have played much more recently. In fact, they played last weekend against Scotland, where they ended up losing by 60 points to 14. I think a lot of context has to be said about this Tongan side. Last week, of course, the game was outside of the international window, and therefore many players were ineligible to play for this game. Tonga do welcome a host of players back for this game, including Telesu Vianu, and he will be a massive addition to the squad. Talking about the squad, so let's take a look at how England line up, and there is big news concerning this team, which we'll get to shortly. Starting out fullback, it is Freddie Stewart who starts out fullback with Johnny May and Adam Radwan on the wings. In the centre, Manu Tuolangi alongside Henry Slade, with Ben Youngs and Owen Farrell at 10. More on him in just a second. In the front row then, Ellis Genge, Jamie George and Kyle Sinclair play in the front row. Mauro Toje and Johnny Hill in the locks, with the back row then of Courtney Laws, Tom Curry and Sam Underhill. On the bench then we have Blamire, Marler, Stewart, Eales, Don Brandt, Mitchell, Smith and Furbank. As I said, the big news then is about this man Owen Farrell. He has tested positive for COVID-19. Now, they will be doing another test to ensure that it wasn't a false test, as that can sometimes happen. And we're yet to hear from the England camp on any more detail at the time of recording on this Friday evening. We're waiting for confirmation of what's going to happen, but I think we can assume that he will not be involved. So the likelihood would be that Marcus Smith steps in. He trained fully yesterday, which is something that Eddie Jones was concerned about. So we expect Marcus Smith to step in, but we'll have to wait and see. Tonga have also named their team. This is how they line up. Once again, I apologise if I butcher any of these pronunciations. Telesu Vianu plays out fullback with Walter Fafita on the wing. Solomona Kata plays on the other wing. In the centre then, Afrasupa, Tamapau and Malitoa Hingano play in the centres. MLS-based Kurt Morath plays at 10 alongside Sonatana Takalua. In the front row then, Sigfrid Fishura, Paulo Nguamu and Ben Tamafrina. Alongside them in the second row, is Halalafea Fifita, Tanganoa Halafona, and then the back rows Lopati, Timana, Matakaki, Kafatolu, and Sione Vailanu. So those are the 2 teams. Now, interesting to see with the England team that it is a little bit of rotation. Something that Eddie Jones has come under criticism for in the past few years is his inability to pick players on form. And I think we've seen that with a certain amount of his selection. We're really excited to see if Marcus Smith does get to go with the number 10 jersey if Owen Farrell is not fit to make this game. I'm excited to see how that backline works. I'm really excited to see how that works, how much creativity there can be for this England team. The way the game is going to go, we know England are going to look to dominate physically, to get on the front foot using their scrum, their line-out and their kicking game. But Tonga showed last week, even with a very poor squad, you have to say, that there were green shoots coming through, that there were positivity to take from that. Tonga in a really difficult position at the minute, with their head coach back in Australia after his home was broken into. But how do I see this one going? I mean, I'd be ridiculous not to back England to win this one. I think England will win this one fairly comfortably. I expect Tonga to be maybe a little bit stubborn for the first 20 minutes, but then after England get a couple of tries, I just see their heads sinking. Tonga will look to throw the ball about to try and create something out of nothing, and that's most likely where the try is going to come from. But England also have some really creative players in that team, players who can do a lot of damage. The back row of England, Curry and Underhill, Courtney Lawes, that's just a powerful back row, isn't it, who will look to get over the gain line. But all of them, especially Curry, is very comfortable with ball in hand, and I think that's something that Eddie Jones will certainly be looking at, is that him and with ball in hand, can they get over the gain line that way and then free the backs to play? What is my score prediction? I think England are going to win this one by plus 50. I really think they're going to put 50 points on this Tongan team. I'm going to back England to win this one by 60 points to 10. I do think Tonga will get a try. It might be a bit of a scrappy one, but I expect England to look to rotate things later on in the game and give some players some much needed game time. But there we go. Those are my preview. That's my predictions ahead of this game. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure to join me tomorrow. We're doing 2 watch-alongs for Ireland and Japan first 4 starting at 1:45. So subscribe for that, turn the notification bell on. And we'll be doing one for Wales against South Africa, going live at about 5 o'clock with kickoff at 5:15. Once again, make sure you turn those notifications on, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the rugby over the weekend. See you soon. Peace.